users, groups, sites, permissions, access rules. There's a lot of things that you need to get right when you're setting up a SafetyCulture account. Hopefully this video explains just how to do it. Yeah, hi, I'm Darcy from Bravas Technology. We help to support and implement SafetyCulture at organizations. In this video, we're going to run through just how we can set up all of our people, our sites, and our places inside of SafetyCulture. Let's get straight into it. Yeah, so I've just set up a visual here just to explain, I think, the 3 important things you need to set up so you can get the most out of your SafetyCulture account at the early stages. Those are groups, sites, and permissions. You can see here I've set up sites vertically, and you can see this London site we've got here by this thin line, the Sydney site, etc., etc. So these are your physical locations where people are actually doing work. The groups, really, you can think of this as homogeneous roles, so people with the same level of responsibility. We're going to use this to define what visibility that they have, so what they can see. Directors might have a common set of data that they might want to see, same with managers and frontline users. So having them set up in different groups, I'll show you in a moment how it's going to be valuable when you're setting up your templates and your audits. Permissions is, in essence, very similar to groups, but it's all about what you can do in the account, not necessarily what you can see. And so a common example would be, all right, people in my management group only have a certain level of visibility to data, but we also want them to have, or some of them to have admin permission. So to be able to make changes to the account, to be able to add in new sites, to be able to build in templates. And so we've got permission sets that's going to work across different roles and across different sites. It's really about what you can do in the account. So you can think of it in this way. Sites is where I'm doing work or where I can do work. Groups is what visibility I have to that work and what level of access I should have to that work. And permissions is what I'm allowed to do in SafetyCulture and within the SafetyCulture features. So when we look at this in the SafetyCulture front end, you can see here the different ways that we need to set things up. We can set up our different sites, and as mentioned, we can have these nested below each other. So I can be a member at the highest level of the tree, or I can be a member at the specific site. We've then got the different groups set up. So I've got here my director, my manager, and my frontline groups. We can see here that you can be a member of multiple groups. This will be relevant for defining visibility across multiple templates, which I'll show you in a moment. And we've got permission sets here. So again, these are permissions of what someone can do in the organization. So my administration group, if I look at the permissions here, they'll have access to do, all parts of the SafetyCulture platform, whereas a manager might just be restricted, can't make changes to billing and the permissions of the organization, but can create templates, can create training, this sort of thing. Yeah, so this is really obvious when we're adding in a new user. So let me just add in a new user. And you can see here the 3 things that we need to define are the permission set. So what permissions does this person have, what group they're in, and then what site are they going to be a part of. I'm going to say, okay, I'm actually adding in a manager here. Darcy's going to be a manager. So we'll make him part of the management group. He's got basic management permissions, and also he's part of the England sites. And so Darcy basically has access to all of the sites that sit nested below the England site. So once we've got our groups and our sites set up, and we've added in all of our users to that matrix of groups and sites, we can start to build in the access rules for different parts of the tool. I'll just do this example for templates, but it's a similar one for training and other parts of SafetyCulture. So if I go to a template and I go to manage access, we can define who can complete the templates that we assign and who can view them. So let's just say this is a HACCP food audit program where I want members of the frontline group to be able to complete the audit. What we can do is say, based on our site and group membership, I can say, okay, members who are of the England site and who are also part of the frontline group, then you have conduct access. You can't make changes, you can't delete the template, you can access this audit and you can go do your food safety audit. The results then of this audit or this inspection, who do I want to have visibility of that? So let's use the same rule and let's say, okay, I want members of our management team who are also members of the same site. So members of the selected site who are also in the management group, they will actually receive the completed inspections. Do I want them to be able to make changes to the audits? Maybe yes, in this example, we want someone to be able to edit the audit once it comes through if you're a manager. So again, if we go back to this example, we've got at our England site, the frontline group, they're going to be completing the actual audit, and then the results of when Eddie or when James or when Anne completes an audit, that will then be visible to Matt and Will in the management group. If I want to just give someone access to make edits or changes to the template, I can just say, okay, this template is going to be available to, let's just say, the management group. They have access, all members in the management group have access to conduct, to edit, and to delete this template. Maybe not great practice to give everyone access to delete templates, but you could so define that if you wanted to. So now I have managers that can actually make changes to this actual template. Great, so that's the example of how we can use sites, users, groups, and permissions to manage your organization in safety culture. At its essence, safety culture is just about gathering and capturing data, and data is only as good as your ability to analyze it. So this just is going to make sure that you can splice and dice the data in the correct way, and also ensures that your people out in the field or your managers are only seeing data that's relevant to their area. I'll put in the description of the video our promotional code you can use to sign up to SafetyCulture. Until next time, thanks for watching.